Hey, this is Rebecca Dirks with PremierGuitar.com. We are here in Los Angeles, California, hanging out with James Trussart. We're in your studio here. The shop's over there, and we're going to check that out in a moment. But can you tell us a little bit about who these guys are and what we were just hearing?
So William works with me and build the guitars with me, and Joel is a singer-songwriter from Australia, and he lives here, and so plays a lot of music, fill the house with beautiful melodies and everything.
And what are the guitars that each of you are playing?
So that's a bass that is ready to go somewhere in Europe. It's a special order, like most of what we're doing. And this one as well. And this one is a kind of a replica of what we've done for Charlie Sexton, who plays with Bob Dylan. And well, it's kind of a classic contour with the recessed metal top, engraved snake skin, custom knobs, best bridge for that type of guitar. It's called a master bridge. Here's a little special option here. It's two Jazzmaster type pickups made by our friend Rob Timmons, and we use these pickups mostly. And in the middle, there's also a P90 that he hand wound, and as a result, it's a ham canceling, and so it's kind of makes that guitar special. As well, those necks are maple, even if it's like unusual to see a gray maple in their guitar, world. The reason I decided to do that is to match the metal, and also this one is made out of sugar pine, and so it's super light. And most of those bodies are chambered, so they're light. And with the combination of the steel top recessed, which is my trademark, like I didn't invented the wheel, but I reinvented something a bit, like make it a little, more interesting. Let's say the recess. Nobody ever did that before, and I thought messing with metal and mostly like this bass, for example, it's all made out of steel and perforated steel. Um, so it makes it special. And let's see what special about those guitars and the metal present everywhere in what I'm doing makes those things more, gives more sustain, and also the look is what I like, and so that's what I'm doing.
All right, awesome. Well, a lot of other people like it too. So let's go check out how they're made. So we're taking a look at kind of where you start with these guitars, right? So what do you have here?
So it's like the back of the guitar, and as you can see, it's all made out of steel, and it's punch press. So it's kind of a unique process that I mean, create and improve along the years. I started like in the 80s to do that. So it's been a lot of improvement and a lot of experimenting with everything, and so. This is basically one day some people were like, well, but can you make those a bit lighter and stuff? Not that they're too heavy. They ran like a 7.5, 8, like kind of a regular. So with that process, it was like, well, I just save like 1 pound or something. So and I discovered that was kind of a big risk because it was kind of expensive to, I mean, do all those toolings. But I discovered that it was interesting in terms of the tone. I didn't like lose what was essential, but I just kind of discovered like how it reacts with feedback and this and that. And so it's been going for years now. People are asking like, the holly front or the holly back and things like that. So that was fun to create like names for that and stuff. Yeah.
So with the
And then we have to, I mean, it's rectified and then it's welded. And so we have another shop here where we're doing all the welding and then also the polishing and all the different metal finish.
so and where are they actually punched kind of locally and you get them in or
Yeah, yeah.
and then for the routing for the recessed tops?
For the road, like that's another thing that I've been doing back when I was in Europe. I was doing the recessed top in the chamber wood body.
Got a handful of
Yeah,
those
yeah,
too, so.
yeah. Like, yeah, like this. Okay. So just another one. That's another, an example of what we have like made out of sugar pine. And the most difficult thing is to have that fit in there. Yeah.
To match up the routing and the punch,
So
huh?
that's why we're making like one different guitar a day, and it's like it takes way longer than if you crank up like 10 guitars or 50 or so it's like one after one, and usually it's like to fill up like custom orders and stuff. Yeah.
All right, so you've got your bodies and the punched metal. Where do we go from there?
And then we are doing all the paintings, and so usually we do like those transparent gray finish satin, which is what I like. Like it's like the feels. I love like vintage guitars and stuff. So that was all that to keep up with the vintage vibe. I mean, from the beginning. Well, I can do like really slick stuff too. I mean, I can show you in there. But my personal taste is like like all the rusty, like antique silver, antique copper, all those things. Like.
And you do that here?
Yeah.
All right, let's go take a look at that then.
Well, this is like an alligator from Lafayette, Louisiana, where I used to live in the 80s and 70s, and always spend time there. So it's been a big inspiration. The alligator and goes with the Delta blues and all that. And in the past, somebody gave me that skin to. Like a custom guitar, like that was kind of a fashion at the time to put like snake skin or to glue, whatever. I thought, oh, the alligator, but it's kind of thin. That's why I also give up the project at the time and just left that in my basement. And then one day I discovered that, I mean, as a joke, kind of, I made a really, like rusty and beat up guitar before the relicking was, the vibe. So that was a kind of a success. I mean, I got a couple of orders, at the time, and so I left the guitars in the yard, and it was like November, October, and leaves are falling, and I left for 2 days, and I came back, and it was like 3 bodies all covered with leaves, and I was like, oh my god, too bad. But in fact, that was a great kind of a mistake, or I mean, the nature, play with that, and the leaves were printed in the rust, and so I took the alligator instead of the leaves, and since that's what I've been doing for probably 20 years now.
Wow. It all just came from leaving the guitars outside.
Exactly.
So what's that soaking in there?
Well, that's the alligator skin.
Yeah.
So I'll leave them in the water, so they always like spongy.
Okay.
Yeah. I can show you all the different bodies in project in process.
Okay.
So here's you have a dragon engraved, and here you can realize what I was talking about with the alligator skin. So you can see like the reptilian see the reptilian prints and stuff, and they're all different. Every time it's a different guitar, and that's what's fun about it. Yeah, and this is like the Oli back that I was talking about. So I love the combination of the perforated metal and the reptilian, patterns and all that, and well, looks like my little story, like from Louisiana to LA, and here's a little further. I mean, that was kind of a next step where then engrave the metal. And so I do a combination of engraved and do a contrast in between the first, the first process and the second one. And so it's kind of another, another option. Uh, this is like a antique silver, and that's the base that I've been making for years, and it's been in great hands. I never took time to, really advertise for it, but I mean, there's, famous bass player playing on that from Tony Garnier with Bob Dylan and on and on. And so the different thing is there's just a block of wood inside, and here you have all the combination for all the different pickups in there. And say in like 20 minutes you can, it's a transformer, you can change you can turn the bass into a precision bass to jazz precision to all the combination. So it's kind of easy, and everything is compatible. That's what I'm trying to also. I focus all my life to have like all the screws are the same size, and they're certain type of screw, and I don't mix up stuff. It's just like, so at the end you get a really personal style. And this is that was my vision of it. So there's new there's no way. Uh, this one, let's see. This one is another one. I don't have it ready yet, but it's built around a candy box, and it gives a different sound compared to the resonator that you had before. So it's more like a crystal clear resonator sound, and I call that the steel phonic. And this is another example of the Holly front and Holly back steel DeVille. This is what I saw James Hetfield playing with those beside the steel axe that I designed with him like a year or a year and a half ago.
So is most of what you do custom order then?
Yeah, yeah. And also, I do a lot of, things that just cross my mind, like whatever idea I have, we're trying to just jump on it and do it, and so that feed, all the range of the already big range of guitars. If you go on my website and you go in the gallery, it's like a big photo book, yeah.
So in this room, is this where everything gets assembled then?
Yeah, and so that's for example, that's one pig guard that you can stick on this, and so you can do one with two jazz bass, or just one precision, and it's an active, passive, and all the knobs are custom made. That's another example of the recessed top on a sugar pine. This is kind of something that I discovered like maybe 2 years ago, and I had a request to make a guitar for Bob Dylan's birthday. So I was like, well, what am I gonna do? And I thought about, for some reason, I thought about the beach in Malibu and something, and I came up with like the drift, kind of a driftwood finish, and this is working really well, and I love that. And apparently he likes it too. Because he played like during two long tours with that. Uh, this is another nice, thing with like just a solid rosewood with like a fine maple in between, and so same thing with the recessed top. Uh, so what else? Actually, we're doing also we're doing this. Um, that's for to put a B-bender on it, and I'm working with Joe Glazer in Nashville to as he's a kind of a specialist for that and to improve the kind of a project. This is like a this one is kind of a what I was talking before, like kind of a really nice, burgundy mist
Yeah.
kind of classic finish. And I live next to a paint shop where they do all kind of classic cars and stuff. And I love the mix of the antique silver and engraved paisley and those colors. I've also one of my favorite is also the Cadillac green. And I don't know if you've seen the one that I have downstairs. That's that kind of color. Yeah, I love those. Particular like combination with the antique and the brush nickel finish.
So, how many people do you have kind of working in this shop?
We five.
Putting
Yeah, we five plus a welder and also the guys who were doing the polishing and the plating, and we two guys for the woodwork. And the fact that I do all this in this workshop, it's kind of limited, but we have a view on the Hollywood sign and on all the nature here, and it's like working in the country, and it's like really great to be able just to wake up and just like get to work and play a little bit. And, it's not like going to a warehouse, and I'm too old to go there.
yeah, definitely. So, like the
And,
what?
so everybody enjoy it. It's more like it's more like a family thing. It's interesting. Yeah.
So, is like the welding and stuff done in a different
Yeah,
location?
it's in East LA. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we don't have to. I mean, in the first place, I was doing that downstairs where you've seen all the bodies in the storage, but it gets too. It's. I mean, you need space. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you do have some machines for, I think we saw like buffing and stuff in there. You
Oh
want
yeah,
to check
yeah.
that out?
Yeah,
So in this area, you just do a little bit of, buffing,
yeah,
sanding.
sanding, buffing, and touch up. There's a lot of sanding with the metal, and there's a lot of trimming too by hand and stuff. Yeah.
To get the recessed metal to fit perfectly.
Yeah. Because with the angle, it's like a tricky operation. Yeah. Yeah.
And then over here is kind of an exciting part, which is the rusting, right?
Yeah. Well, so in the past, that process, I improved it a lot. And I don't know if you notice if you have the doors on the tape there, the door, my studio doors. When you get in, maybe you can film that. So it's the same process, and it took me quite some times to figure out how to come up with like a durable, like a instrument, and say, well, it's not like falling apart and rust never sleep, like, so yeah, I had to find the right rust stop and keep the same colors and keep it really sexy and attractive, and so that's what I've figured it out along the years. Yeah.
So how long does this process take?
Takes about a week. Yeah. So when we like it, well, we just like fix the rust and distress it, come back with some coating, and all that is too much.
So, in each of these, is it kind of something different, and they move from bucket to bucket
Yeah,
there? Or?
yeah, yeah. Depending what kind of a look you wanna end up with, could be more black, more red, and so we don't have really total control on the colors, but we know better than a lot of people who were into that. Yeah, yeah.
So, in here, it looks like you have a variety of components in different stages of being worked on.
Yeah, I mean that's all kind of metal parts that are waiting to be used with different engraving, different finish and stuff. And so I have probably 500 different parts.
With the engraving of like the paisley or the skulls, are you doing that here?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So that was in
Oh, you
that
mean
first.
with the screening and
Yeah.
no, we can't do that
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
No, 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 no. No, we're not allowed to do that here. So we're doing that where we're doing the painting
Okay.
in the same location where we do the polishing and all that. Yeah. Mm.
You have boxes for rusty and shiny.
That's right. Yeah. I have gold too.
One of the cool eye-catching things we saw on the wall here is you've got a couple baritones, and we're gonna listen to the kind of T-style baritone. Can you tell us a little bit about that and who's playing that for us today?
Well, I love the baritone, and Andy, who lives in my neighborhood, also a great player, and works with Steve Vai, TV.com. Always come around and check all those different guitarists because it's kind of a kind of a how do you call that? A candy store, kind of, yeah. And so I always loved the baritone, and also depending the tuning you can do, it takes place in like so different style, like from country to, I mean, heavy metal, and I mean all those different, and I mean just it's very underrated instruments. I think it's really cool in between the the bass and the guitar, and you can use it as as one or the other or both, and it's kind of a very creative tool, I think.
Well, let's hear it through. We're playing through the Marshall, right? All right. Well, thank you very much, James, for letting us in here to see everything. And
Coming and visit us.
so, what are we going to hear on our way out?
That's a resonate. I call that Resogator, and because as you can see, the body is made out of steel, and we engrave it the same way we engrave all the rest of the guitars here, and same style. But I always thought that was really interesting, and the I mean, the resonator guitars being my first love, when I was a teenager and stuff. And I thought that would be good to come up with something a bit special to make sure that's the neck as I collect, resonator guitars in Dobros and Nationals. I mean, cone resonator guitars in general for years. I thought it was time to come up with something, like more that looks like what I dream about, and so that's why I, like put that particular headstock on it, and I mean, all the details, like the custom knobs and stuff. And the most important thing is the sound and the tone. So it's a mono stereo guitar, so you can play on 2 amps. So either with a kind of a dirty delta sound, and you can play into a big amp or whatever, and also in a super clean, crystal clear um, sound, like through acoustic amp or a PA.
Sounds good. All right. Well, let's hear it. Thanks again.
Wanna grow up so I don't keep wasting time. I wanna grow up so I can get what is mine. I'm not yours.